Hi everyone. Well, Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Thank you for joining me. I have a project share and a bit of a little tutorial going on here today. And it's to do with two sets of dies. This one here is from the Suprise Creation store, and I've used this die, and of course the die set from the Kljuyp store. They have released a die set, I think it was this month of December, and it's to make these little kind of triangular boxes, and you can stack them up or you can make them, and they're like the advent calendar boxes. I think this might be a little bit stuck, so it comes out like this, but I really liked them, and I came across them. I thought, I've seen people make these beautiful kind of round circle boxes, and I wanted to make the same, and so I thought I could use these dies to make that, and this is the box that I came and created with these dies. Now I know this is what it looks like. I know that Scrap Diva, I believe, has a design out to make this particular box. Now this is not to discredit her, please do not think that way. I'm just showing you a different way that I thought you could make the same sort of box using these particular dies. So this is what it is, and I saw someone on Instagram come up with the idea of using these knobs. This is not my thought of doing it, this is somebody else's thought of doing it, but I thought it's a good idea, and I wanted to do the same, but I use a different kind of knobs, and I placed gold metallic foil on the back of that to make it more of a yellowy look to coincide with my gold on my top. Now someone else also, I believe, used the idea of having some sort of a spinner type thing. I got a small one, and I thought that was a great idea, so I adapted to that as well. So that's not my idea, but you can put feet, and you can put pearls or beads or something to use them as feet as well, and that works just the same. So I thought I'd like to do one of these boxes by using these dies, and I saw this one and I thought, I could use this sort of die set to make something like this. So I'm going to go through with you on how I've created this. It's not as complicated. It's got a lot to do, yes, but I tell you, it was a lot of fun doing it. So what I initially did, apart from using this one, was that I separated this particular die set, which makes that sort of stackable boxes, like this sort of thing. You've got your stackable boxes, and so it's that sort of a look. Okay. So I separated them, and I found that there was the large set that makes the inner part of the box, and then you've got the outside set that makes the outside of the box. So, and they also come with their overlaying pieces as well. So these two pieces here, which are a little bit slightly bigger than these ones, if I measured out the outside, perhaps you'll see it's a bit bigger. That one there, the bigger one, is the outside. The inner one, that's smaller, is the inside. Same with the embellishment, or the laying part of it. The outside piece is the outside, and the smaller piece is the inside. So there's only those pieces there, as well as these ones here. They're the side pieces. Again, if I measure them up, you'll know that the bigger piece would be the outside piece, and the smaller piece will be the inside piece. Same with the part that overlays it. The outside piece, that's a lot bigger, would be the outside piece, and the inside piece, which is smaller, would be the inside part of the box. And I didn't use the numbers, although that's what you can use as an advent calendar if you want. I only use this to cut out the front part of my inside piece here, of my overlay, and I'll show you what that is too. I didn't use this piece. So let's disregard those. I'll put these away. I won't need these for now because I've already made the boxes, and I've cut all the pieces out. So remember, these pieces here are the inner part of the box. So it makes the inner part of the inside of the box, the smaller part, or the cabinet bit, the drawer piece. And this here is my outside part of the box, which holds everything together. Okay, so what I've gone ahead and done is I've gone ahead and cut the shapes that I needed. So to make this sort of boxes, okay? Hopefully I'm going to be clear enough. So we've got those small pieces and the bigger piece that fits inside. Now the way I did it to create that round box is I have 3 pieces here that I've already constructed, but I'm going to show you how I've constructed the inner part, this piece here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I have my pieces here. That's it there. Okay, these are the smaller pieces. I'm probably not making myself very clear on the camera here, but I'll move them up so you can see what I mean. My cat's been on my table. So I've been cleaning everything off my table to make sure I be more presentable. Okay, so these are the pieces here. This is the layering piece, which is a smaller piece, and this is the outside piece, which is also a smaller piece, and they will go on top, okay, as a layering piece. So let's go ahead and glue that together. Oh, I should have got more glue, but I didn't think about it, but never mind. We'll do that, and we'll cope with what we've got. Okay, so I'm going to stick that piece there. You do have folds on this dies that makes things a little bit easier. I'll just get my bone folder and make sure it's glued on properly. Okay, so we have that. Okay, next step we're going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is take this piece here. Now, I'm not professional. Please do not think I am. No, no, no. I'm just doing the way I feel is more easier for me to do this. Okay, so I'm just going to curl it so it's a bent shape. Okay, it's just a bent shape. And with these, I'm going to fold only the one side. Okay, and I'm going to glue this area here and glue this second piece. So you'll need 2 pieces to make a corner. Alright, so you'll have 2 sides. Now, to make 8 boxes if you want to, or you can make the 4 box. It's completely up to you. You can stack them up and make as many boxes as you like, or you don't have to stack them up at all. You can just leave them freely. But to make the round drawer box that I'm making at the moment, I'm just going to show you the one level. Instead of all 8 boxes, I'm going to show you the 4 boxes. So I'm going to glue that there together like that, okay? And to make 4 of these boxes, you'll need 8 sides, and you'll need 8 tops as well for it to make them. So we'll go ahead and we'll have a look anyway. So I'm going to cut this one. See, one side doesn't have the flap, but the other side does, because all the sides do have the flaps. But I use the flap to glue that part there to make a corner. So because I don't need this flap anymore, I'm just going to cut that part off. There we go. We don't need that. We can discard that. So now it's going to be one side corner. Now, to make the bottom, we've got this piece here, which I've already put the overlay piece on. So I'm going to fold the folded edge and the other side as well. And with that piece, with that piece there, I'm going to glue it on the inside. Okay, so that will be glued on the inside. So let's get that done. Like I said, I'm not a professional. This is the way I'm doing it, which makes it easier for me to make that round drawer box. So I'm going to glue one side at the moment. Glue that right into the corner and make sure that the corner bits here at the top are level. It's really important that they're level, otherwise you won't get that lovely triangle shape. So I'll just make sure that that is completely level, that the corner fits in exactly the way I want it. You see, it's lovely and level, it's flush, and also the other side here too. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's going to be flush as well, right to the corner, and it should even up quite nicely. There we have it, beautifully evened up. Like that. Okay, this is the bottom piece. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the side front piece. So we're going to fold along the folds here on the edge, these two flaps. So you need to fold them, and then fold the teeth down as well. Just make sure that they're on the fold, that you do fold on that fold line. These little teeth bits, like so, like that. So it's like that. And now we're going to go ahead and glue this section here to the main part of that drawer box. So we start gluing on one side of that flap, and we join it completely level to the other side. So it's like that. It'll be nice and level together. I'm pushing it into the side there, like so. Making sure that that area there is flush. Just hold that for a few minutes to make sure I get that nice and glued. I'll just get my bone folder and press it down just nice and firmly to make sure that that's well glued in there. Can you see it coming along now? There is a bend there. So it bends. Now we're going to glue the teeth piece on. All these little flappy teeth bits are going to be glued in there as well. So I'll quickly put my glue bit in there. It's very messy glue. There we go. And we're going to slowly manipulate that piece in a curved semicircle, curved circle, or a curvature, whatever you have to call it, and glue that to the bottom as much as we can. It's going to take a little while and fiddly bit because the glue is quite slippery, but we're going to try and get it so it's flush to the bottom. So I'm just going to press this down this way. Make sure I've got it nice and flushed in there. Take my bone folder and make sure I can glue all that in there properly. Press it down, making sure you've got a little bit of time to move the glue. If you've got the glue that I use, you've got that time that that allows you to have a bit of a slip and slide session with your cardstock. And for those who don't know, I'm using the 280 GSM cardstock here in Australia. I don't know what it is in UK or in the US or in Europe. So yeah, I'm sorry I can't tell you that, but I suppose even the 300 GSM cardstock will be okay as well. Actually, it'll be much more stiffer. The only problem with 300 GSM is it may crack if you fold that cardstock. Okay, so I think I've got it pretty good now. Now I'm going to glue this flap here, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there. There we go. Oops. Come on. There we go. I'm going to glue that flap in. Make sure it's flush to the edge. And we have now just about completed our part of our box, the drawer piece. That's really good. I'm really happy with that. It looks really nice now. Just being very temperamental at the moment. Just hold it for a few seconds. I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure I've got it creased down properly. And there you have it. There's that part of my triangular drawer. Now I'm going to make this part here, the insert for the drawer. So I've already taken my time to cut out that shape. Okay, so I'll pop these out the way for now. Let's put them over there. And we're going to do the part that fits and holds the drawer in place. Again, we're going to fold these flaps here on the fold line. This flap here we don't need, we can discard that, so just cut that piece off. It's not needed. There we go. Just cut it off the fold line. Now we're going to glue this part here of the flap to this piece on the edge. Okay, just like we did with this one to make the corner. Make it nice and flush to the very tip of the corner, to the opposite corner. We'll make a really nice corner then. Hopefully the glue will stick down enough. It's very hot here in Australia, so very warm temperature where I am. I'm in Adelaide, so it makes it very warm. Our summer at the moment is quite hot, so having very high temperatures. We've got very warm night at the moment, so it's around midnight here in Adelaide at the moment while I'm doing this. Okay, so I've got that in the corner. Okay, that's all joined. The next piece is these pieces here. This is the large piece that I've cut out. 2 large pieces are required, top and bottom. So I'm going to fold that along that line and fold along that fold line. So I'm going to have 1 and 2. So we get that. So they're folded, okay? And this is going to sit on the top of that. But I'm going to put the flaps on the outside. Actually, I should have put that paper on the inside, so I might just fold it back the other way, because I like to show that on the inside, not the outside. So apologise for that. I'm going to pop them on the outside and glue on the outside. That's how I want it. You don't have to. You can glue it on the inside if you want to, but I like it on the outside because you're not going to see it. You're not going to see the ugly part. So let's get that done. So let's place the glue on this part of the flap here, on the inside of that flap. You're not going to see it. I'm getting it everywhere, aren't I? Come on, Mr. Glue Bottle. There we go. Now you're working. That's how I like it. Okay, so I've got one-sided in there, in that flap there, glued. So I'm going to place that flap and align it on the outside, flush with the corner, the tip of the corner, and the bottom, because that will actually make the lovely point, making that triangular outer part of the box to hold the drawer in. Okay, so that looks really nice and flush now. So it looks a bit messy there. I've got glue everywhere. Let's clean that glue up, shall we? I'm going to use my bone folder. I shouldn't really, but I will anyway. There we go. That's not bad. I'm really happy with that now. So we've got that. Now I'm going to glue in there, just in there. So let's see if we can glue that part down. we go, a little bit of glue, and we're going to push and make it flush so you've got that room to move. That glue is going to make you have that room and time to move it. So it's nice and flush on the corner as well as the other corner. So I'm going to glue that part down. You see how flush that is? I'll bring it close to the camera so you can see. See? It's really flush, and I've got a lovely peak in the corner, and it's right back at the joint there. So that's going to be nice and glued down properly. Now, I've got that part done. So now that will be the bottom part of my drawer that will hold my drawer inside. Now, we're doing the top part. So, again, I've cut this piece out. Going to fold it across that line. Remember, these pieces here are the biggest part of the die. Okay, the big parts of the die, not the smaller dies. The smaller dies makes the drawer. Okay, so just fold across onto that fold line, and we're going to stick and glue. What we did here, we're doing the same on the top. So I've made a mess of this glue, haven't I? Hopefully it's going to come down. Okay. Oh good, it did. It worked. Yay. Okay. Oh, actually I might put a bit more glue on that. I think that's enough. You don't need a lot of glue. Just enough to glue it down. And we're going to glue that again, making it flush to the corner. And the edge, the top edge of that box. Just give it a couple of seconds. I'm going to glue that right in there. Oops, it just moved. Okay, there we go. That's better. So that looks really good now. I've got it right there, flushed to the corner. It's being temperamental. There we go. Now we've got it now. Alright, so that's done. Now we're going to glue this part here on the inside to attach it to there. Okay? I hope I'm making it clear. I'm not very good with tutorials. I don't often do them. But I hope you're understanding what I'm doing, and I hope I'm clear enough that you can understand what I'm doing. So that's the main thing. I don't really like tutorials, but because I can never do them properly. Okay, let's glue along this fold here, this inner fold, just in here. Come on, get in there, Mr. Glue. There we go. It's a nice lots of glue in there. Going to make that fold over, making it flush with the corner to the corner of that arch. I'm going to press it down with my bone folder, making sure it's all glued in properly. Yep, that looks pretty good. So now we have that done. Do you see what I mean? It's been done like that. Looks almost like one of those, what do they call them? But they fill them up with a taco. Yeah, it looks like a taco. Okay, sort of. Only it's not boat shaped. Okay, so I'm going to put this in now, and that should fit in really well. And I've got my little drawer, so that helps a lot. Now, I've gone ahead and made the 3 others as you saw previously. Now, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to join these to make a round circle. That's pretty much it, really. So let's go ahead and glue those. So we're going to glue just the sides that we've made here. You don't have to take the drawer out. If you want to, you can, but I don't see any reason to. It actually makes more stability in when it comes to gluing it all. So I'm going to glue all around that. As you see, that's what I mean. I've made the fold on the outside, and that would actually be substantial to glue on the opposite fold on the other side of the opposite drawer. And that will be really nice and strong. You can go ahead and put glue in the middle if you want. I don't think there's any problem with that. But you're just going to have to glue them together, make the perfect little attachment Just hold it for a few seconds. This is the good part, the part I like the most, because I can see it all come together now. There we go. And then you can take the boxes out. I think I might, so I can press my bits here together. There we go. Oh, it's really good now. It's really pressed in together. Beautiful. I'm really happy with that. Sorry, I'm off camera. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I was like double tacos. Okay. 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 So that's been done. Now I'm going to do the same with these two. So I might slide those back in. It keeps the shape intact too. There we go. That's one half done. Let's do the other half. Hopefully it will nice and stick really well. Make sure that they're attached really, really well. Oops, there we go. Make sure it's all attached. And what's really good about it is that once it's all attached, you can see how strong it becomes. The sides anyway, because they're double strength with the double cardboard on the top, as you see in there. You see the double cardboard layers there will make it really strong once it's dried. Okay, so I think they're pretty well attached now. Now, oops, I might take these out. I think that might be better. Anyway, I'm going to attach this to that, so they'll all be one round pizza. Okay, let's go ahead and attach them. So we'll attach the joints together. Come on, Mr. Glue, you're being naughty now. Don't die on me. I need your gluing. There, okay. I'm going to glue that section in the middle. Glue along the edge. Really, really make it very gluey so it really sticks well, which I know it will. And the other section too, the opposite section. I like putting lots of glue on this, so make sure I've got it really stuck down well. There we go, like that. I'm going to place those two pieces together, like so. Just press them together, not too hard, just firmly, so I know the glue's going to dry well. I'll take out those two boxes, I don't need them in there. I'm just going to press them with my fingers, make sure they're nicely glued. I think that looks really good now. There we go. Make sure it's all glued in. Now, this is where I use the Suprise Creations cutting die sets. Okay, and this one here is the round nesting sets. I know they're still available on Ali. I don't know about Amazon. I don't shop on Amazon or on Temu. I suspect they may still be there. I'm not sure, but I do know they're on AliExpress. Put that aside, let it dry a little bit. And I used and cut out the second largest. Now, for this you really do need a large cutting die machine, preferably a Big Shot Plus or an electric cutting machine that takes the larger dies. I do have a Big Shot Plus, but before I actually had a Big Shot Plus, I can show you a way of cutting them without a cutting die machine if you don't have it. But mind you, keep in mind, that this method may indeed blunt your die if you've used it over and over and over and over again on the same die, perhaps after 5 repeats. So keep that in mind. But if you don't use this die set very often and you don't have a large cutting machine, then this might be okay for you. Now I'm just going to cut that one out. It's the second to largest, okay, the second one in. I've already cut the 2 circles, but I'm going to show you a method that I used to use before I had the Big Shot Plus, okay. Remember, beware that you may indeed blunt the die after a few uses of the same die. So I don't recommend it, but if you don't have it and you don't use this die set very often, then I suppose it will be okay. Now I do have a Big Shot, but I'm not going to get it out because it's such a big kahuna and it takes up the whole entire table. And I don't have a very big table either. So I did these 2 earlier with my machine, but this is the way I can show you. Now, you do stick the die on the back of the cardstock, and we're going to turn it over, and with a glass jar, now this is my candle jar, and you can see it's a candle, the bottom, and make sure the bottom has thick enough glass, and the glass jar is thick. Mind you, don't get it too big, because you'll hurt your hand, but just a nice size. Do not press too hard, because one, you will break the jar, possibility, and the other one is you will ruin your die, okay? But you only need to do it just enough that the cutting will show through. So I'm going to feel my way around where the cutting die is, okay, and I'm going to start gently rubbing and follow the line of my die. Okay, so you'll see the line coming through, and I use the edge of my jar. So what I'm doing is just basically using the edge of my jar to help me guide where that die is. See how it's starting to cut? And I'm using at the moment, this one here is 300 GSM for the top, okay, for these pieces. These ones here I use 280 GSM. So this is a much thicker cardstock. You don't need to cut over and over again, just enough until the cut comes through. There you go. It's done. Like I said, it's not a technique you should do very often if you're going to use the same die over and over and over again. So beware of that. But anyway, I've now cut that off. I can take this die off. Release that die away from it. I'm going to slowly, very slowly, try and punch out that circle that I've just cut. There you go. Okay, so that's a little technique that you can use if you don't use that set very often, but I wouldn't recommend it if you use the set quite often. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But anyway, that's just an easy little technique. Now I'm going to place, because it's such a thicker cardstock and it's more substantial, it's going to be on the top and one on the bottom. Like that. So let's get that glued on. Let's start with the bottom. I don't want my glue to run out. I don't have much left in this pot. I should have got my new pot out, but I didn't. So, yeah, that looks like a masterpiece now. Okay. This is nicely stuck together now. I don't have a problem with it. I'm going to make sure that the circle is aligned with my top of my cutouts of my drawer, which is absolutely perfect shape. Look at that. It really aligns perfectly with the cutout. Exactly the same perfect shape and size. So really good. I'm really happy. And I'm just going to get my bone folder and go around and press it on there in every angle I possibly can. Make sure it's stuck on. Okay, now I'm going to, that's the bottom part done. Now I'm going to do the top bit. So I'm going to glue the top piece. So move that over. I'm going to move this top piece here. I like this glue. When I'm bored, I put a bit of glue on my hand, wait for it to dry, and I peel it off. Like another skin. Back to my old childhood days. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, that's it there. And that's done. Okay. So now I've got glue on that. I'm going to place this on the top, completely level with the edges of the drawer that I've just made. Pop it on the bottom that way. Looks pretty good to me. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. You might not get it completely perfect, but that's okay. But as long as it's close enough, because once the drawer is in there, you're not going to see it. Okay, I'm just going to press it down, make sure I've got it nicely pressed and glued. My table's rather sticky. I've just lost my bone folder. Luckily I've got another one. So it just went flying under the table. Nicely pressed in there. That looks awesome. Done. Then the greatest part is inserting the drawers in there. Placing all my drawers in there. And this is the one layer. Really simple to do. There you have it. It's all in there, and it does fit really, really well. I think they're all in there. I might do it the other side better that way. But they're all fitting in there, and they fit really level and well. Really easy to make, a lot of fun, and to make a big thing like this sort of thing, all you have to do is just layer it a second time again. Do a second layer, and a layer, and a layer, and a layer, and you can make yourself your own little round circle box. That is using the Kljuyp cutting dies, as well as the Suprise Creations cutting dies together, and then you can go ahead and embellish it any way you want. Place a lovely little doily on it. You can put whatever you like, a little item on the top. Yeah, anything. You can don't, like I said, you don't have to have the round this little, what do you call it? What do they call it? Oh goodness me! Well, I'll just call it a spinner. I can't think of the name of it. You don't have to use, oh, Lazy Susan, that's it. You don't have to use this. You can put knobs on the bottom. You can put nice big beads on the bottom. You can put little feet on the bottom. You can even just put another little stand underneath. It's fine. Whatever you want. This, like I said, these knobs are not my idea. I saw that off of somebody else who did it, and I liked it, and I thought I might do this. Might go ahead and do the same with on mine. And yeah, do whatever you like. It's just fun, and it's very pretty and presentable. So there you have it. Very easy to do. Embellish it any way you want. Stack 3 or 4 of them on top. Make it a lovely little advent for next year's Christmas. Make it a gift box, a birthday box, anything you want. Even just a single little cheese box. Hey, remember the taco too, so don't forget that. There you go. That's my presentation for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Where did I put those dies? Oh, okay. I've lost the dies. Kljuyp store. The link will be down below. Well, thank you so much for watching. I wish you all a wonderful new year, prosperity, joy, and good health. Until next time, bye-bye for now.